Ho, 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 bitches, and welcome to the 1919
Wow. Okay. We are going
Smoking Dope.
back in
Smoking
time.
Dope, man.
Back in time.
Yes, it's a public service message. Kids, do not do drugs. Just say no.
Just say
Welcome to the
no.
2020 Christmas special. What the suck? I'm your host, James, and as always, my boy, my friend, my compadre, my man, Chris. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. I am excited and ready. Is this the third holiday special we done in a row?
I think so. It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, cause
Because, you've been a little sickly child. We had to take a little time out and all that. But, and it's good to have you back, brother, just in time because tonight, my friend and sucksters everywhere, we are doing the 2018 movie Sleigh Bells. That
ooh.
sleigh as an SLAY. And,
Oh.
and what's it all about, you say?
Yeah, what's it all about?
Well, the synopsis is brief but reads as such. It's Christmas Eve, of course it is, and three cosplaying women come across the malevolent Christmas demon Krampus. The girls must team up with Santa Claus himself to battle the creature and save the world. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a
It
winner.
is, hell yeah. It is directed by Dan Walker, written by Jessica Larson and Dan Walker. Oh God, written directed. Here we go again. And it is starring Barry Bostwick. And if that name sounds vaguely familiar to some, he played Brad Majors in the 1970s cult classic midnight movie Rocky Horror Picture Show. And the rest of these motherfuckers I ain't never heard of. Christina Klebe, Susan Slaughter, although I love that name as Dahlia. I got to keep an eye out for her character. Hannah Minks, I like that one too. Diana Salinger, Stephen Ford, Joel Ezra Hebner, and a whole list of other, who gives a shit. So we're going to move on beyond that. Let's see what we got here. All right. It was officially released on the 4th of December of 2018. Has a running time of 77 minutes, and I don't see a budget here. So
That's a
who
good
knows
sign.
how much money they spent on this piece of shit? But I'm guessing we're gonna find out.
Oh yeah, that's a fun time. Quick fact:
Yes,
apparently, Susan Slaughter was on Ghost Hunters International.
she was.
Apparently, that's what it looks like from her work. Yeah, so I don't know who she was, but apparently she was.
Well, who knows?
Yeah,
Stranger things have happened.
that's for
Well, before we
sure.
roll into this, Chris and I would just love to take a moment and wish everybody a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. We love you guys. We appreciate the support, and we are looking forward to 2021 because anything has got to be better than this motherfucking 2020 we've been dealing with.
That's right. Amen to that, man. Hopefully it's only uphill from here.
It probably is. Um,
Now, I don't
well, let's do
know.
that.
I don't know if you've seen it, but there's actually a new funny commercial from Match.com that just came out, and it starts off where you see Satan, which looks like just like the Satan from Legend, right?
Oh
The
man.
Tim Curry
Okay.
Satan. He's sitting on his chair in hell, and he gets notification on his phone. And he looks at his phone. He said he's got a match, and so when he goes to meet the match in the park, he meets her and he's like, "Oh, is that you 2020?" And she's like, "Just call me 2020." And then
Oh Lord.
it's just a whole montage of him in
That's
2020 just going on just ruining the entire year. And then at the end of it, and at the end they're sitting on a park bench and
try to find that one. I have to see that shit.
yeah, they're sitting on a park bench and he's like, "I don't want this year to end." And she's like, "Who does?" And then as it pans behind them, you see just a cloud of meteorites coming into the atmosphere.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know what? Let it happen.
Yeah.
What the hell? As long as we can get this episode, blah, blah. But as
Ex-
long as we can get this episode out on time, bring on the meteorites. I don't give a damn.
yeah. I just want to say, what James said. We wish y'all Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever y'all celebrate. Hope you have a good December. and you guys stay safe and make it through the new year. There's it's some tough times out there, but we're gonna make it through it as we always do, because no matter what, this country still stands, and we're still gonna be here in 2021, and we'll still be here making these horrible podcasts that we make here in 2021 as well for your constant enjoyment. and what he says is true though. We love y'all. The listens are growing day by day, and it's so awesome to see so many people listening to who actually have an interest in listening to the shit that we go through on this show. So thank you all again. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, Happy whatever. If you don't like Happy Holidays, Happy shut the fuck up.
May the force be with you. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. If you don't like that, Happy shut the fuck up. And we'll see y'all in 2020. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get to this movie, shall we?
Man, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Let's stuff some stockings, brother. What do you say?
Oh, man, that sounds kind of dirty. Okay, let's do it.
It's Christmas Eve, and we're on our way to what might be the most exciting urban exploring adventure, and you never know what dirty things will come your way. I dare you to eat this. What the hell do we do now?
My property, and I'm Santa. And that thing out there, that is no animal.
And I'm the Tooth Fairy.
I'm Santa, and that's Krampus! The devil of Christmas! What is going on? Okay, what is going on?
We have to save the world from that monster out there. I do think we made Santa's naughty list. 1, 2, 3, Krampus!
Man, what a gift.
Hoes up in this piece, man. That's what is going on here.
I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you what. Started out cool.
It did.
Had some great credits, some good artwork. It was actually pretty damn decent. I'm gonna have to give it to him, man. This one's a pretty damn good movie.
I like the music at the beginning, but then they played that same music throughout the entire movie. It's like the only music they had, and it got real.
Yeah, they had like 3 tracks, I think it was.
Real boring, real fast.
Well, anyway, what we do, hit it.
Oh, damn, I wasn't ready. Hang on. Go on.
Our Christmas tale begins with a flashback scene, of course. You know how they always start. You got this scene that doesn't make any sense. It just opens up with this guy tied to a chair screaming, "What the fuck's going on? Who are you people?" And you see some joker dressed as Santa Claus. You see 3 bloody hoes. and you're like, what in the hell? Then you get the dreaded 12 hours earlier shit.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Just start the damn story and roll with it. Don't give us any tidbits. Don't give us no bullshit. Yeah, because we really don't give a flying fuck.
It's not artistical. It's just annoying as shit.
It is. And so we get the ho-ho-hos. That's what I'm going to call them. Mm-hmm. The three hoes. We see them loading up in a van, apparently heading off to some cosplay thing.
Well, no, they're cosplayers themselves, but they're urban explorers, is what it is.
Yes, and they're going to explore this creepy-ass abandoned place known as Santaland.
Yep.
Then you see them blow past, as they're going, they blow past the police station, which is a abandoned, like, Motel 6 with the word police. Like, the sign is just tacked up to the outside. It's pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
But I will say this. They do stop before they get to Santaland to get into their full outfits because they're going in there to, do their little blog thing or whatever it is they do. Apparently, they're like YouTubers or something like that.
Yeah.
And at 11:28, we get the only but some very nice, as I call them, rescue titties.
So
I got to come up. I got to make a sound bite for that one of these days. We got to be able to include that. That would be
like
funny.
like a boing.
Then they pull up to this, and then they pull up to this pretty awesome looking roadside cafe / bar, and they go in and there's this rough and gruff looking gal, kind of a hot older MILF type, running the place. And she comes into play later in the story, but we won't give it away just yet.
Not yet.
So they have a couple drinks, and this whole time, these scenes are going by. We're getting this crazy 90s, 90s style techno house music playing and stuff. Got some very odd damn music in this shit.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
They stop, they get a drink from this old bitch, and she looks hilarious. I mean, she
looks like
old MILF.
Well worn.
High mileage.
Oh yeah.
And she slams her hands down on the bar, and it's hilarious because on her knuckles she's got "fuck Christmas" written on her knuckles. It's hilarious. And and then we got the this young boy that comes walking in, Skippy, with the dollar store badge on, as you called him, and we thought he was a cop at first, but it turns out he's like a damn
he's a fucking
game warden or some shit.
Yeah, he's looking for fucking Yogi Bear and shit.
Because they're hearing tales of people getting slaughtered, and they're trying to wonder what the hell it is. And everybody's acting like, oh, no big deal. But he's asking, hey, you seen this? You seen that? And they're talking about, kids are getting killed and people are showing up slaughtered. So they're thinking it's a bear. So this guy's out looking for bears and shit. So,
oh yeah.
And then it just drops scene. She hands them a liquor bottle. They take a slam. And then the next thing you know, they're parked outside of Santa Land, which is this creepy ass amusement park, which is cool. I've always wanted to investigate a creepy ass amusement park.
It looks neat.
But that's when we get dressed up. That's where we get the little rescue titties. And then they start their little adventure here, creeping around and start recording, start wandering around. And we get about 10 to 15 minutes of, every shitty horror movie has, that spot in the movie that's just absolutely nothing. So we get about 10 or 15 minutes of nothing but these three whores taking selfies and doing stupid shit. And you're like, come on, man, get to it. And then you notice in the trees, you see these security cameras watching their every move and stuff. And you see through the lenses, and then you'll see what they're doing. And then it'll go back on the lenses. Well, it turns out our boy Santa Claus, who they team up with later in the movie, actually owns this place. And he's been watching them. Okay, now why these three hookers are actually out there exploring the land and stuff like that. You get to see there's these globs of like hair on the ground that are covered with blood, and you're like, all this mutilated stuff, and they just walk past like, ew, whatever. And then we keep getting scene jumps back to the police station and stuff. And this crazy ass woman, she's kind of like Janine Melnitz from the Ghostbusters staff.
She does look like that, right?
She does. She's like getting pissed off at people for calling and stuff like that. Phones are ringing off the hook. Well, these three idiots are running around, and they get into this room. It says keep the fuck out, but what do? They go in anyway. And you're like, wait, and you're like, what's going on? Then you get this predator vision like stuff, like ultraviolet, and you hear this growl coming. So they get down and hide because this monster breaks the fuck into this room that they're in. And it is our boy Krampus shows up, and I have to give him props. Krampus didn't look too bad.
Yeah,
he's actually pretty good costume.
Yeah, he looks pretty great.
And they're hiding down, and then what happens is, stupid bitch. This is always what's funny. It used to be something stupid like they trip over and knock something, but now in today's horror movie, it's always somebody's phone goes off.
Yeah.
So, bitch's phone goes off, triggers Krampus. He starts chasing them. They haul ass outside, and they're trying to get away. And they look over, and their van's being towed off, which I don't even know how the hell that happened. They just towed the van off. Nobody called. I don't have any idea. But while they're running around outside, they run into our boy, Mr. Santa Claus. Of course, you don't know it at first. Well, this is, like I said, this is the part where you find out where Santa Claus is actually the one guarding the place, because the girls, when they're running out of this building after Krampus attacks, Santa gets him from behind and knocks him to the ground, and he has this damn scepter, and he holds this thing down, and apparently he's dressed like a biker and shit. He's all strung out, and he's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
So after he takes down Krampus, and Krampus runs the fuck off because they don't even explain it.
No.
Krampus just takes off.
Yeah.
And they end up barricading themselves in a cabin, which happens to be Santa's place. So he comes down the chimney and materializes as the biker, of course, with his scepter, places it across the fireplace. Yeah, to keep the motherfucker out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he begins to tell his story. They start talking about things, and he begins to tell his story about how he basically said, "Fuck the North Pole." He said, "I'm done with that shit. Fuck kids, fuck all this. I'm done." He's still got a good heart, but he just basically gave up on what he did. So that's why he came down here and opened this place, because it was an alternate way for him to apparently bring smiles to the little children's. But like, fuck that.
He said he's the real fucking deal. That's what he said.
Yeah. So, we get about, like I said, about 10, 15 minutes of Santa telling his story. Mm-hmm. And then they get they're in the cabin, and Santa's looking out. We'll just call it, I don't even know what to call this dude. He's not even fat. But anyway, he's looking out I said it again.
Oh, damn it. I didn't have it ready. Keep going.
Okay, so when they're talking, and then we get a scene where Krampus is inside some dark building, maybe in the kitchen where he ran the bitches out of. I don't know. He didn't pursue. Mm-hmm. After Santa knocked him down and stuff, he went back to what he was doing, and it showed him putting these hairy, slimy, bloody things inside these boxes, and you don't know what it is right at the moment. And he cuts his wrist, and he kind of does some of that pumpkin head shit, where they cut and they bleed over this thing, and you're waiting for something to come up, but nothing happens. He just puts the lids back on these Christmas boxes. Boom, and then you're like, what the hell? At this point, nothing's making a whole lot of sense.
No, it's not.
But then again, when the hell do they ever really explain the story?
Yeah.
But he's out there looking at them. So they actually wait till night. All right, so the ending of the scene, when they're in the cabin, all of a sudden you got this YouTube-looking vlog thing where it's their channel, and they're interviewing Santa Claus, and he's telling the tale. He's telling his tales of woe and shit.
Yeah.
And it's funny as hell because he's cussing and all this shit. So it's out of character for St. Nicholas, but it's funny for the movie. So Santa and the ho-ho-hos, they hold up in the cabin pretty much for the entire night, and then they strap up with these weapons, and then they're going to go out and they're going to go after this guy, because after Santa tells them the story of the Krampus, they're like, okay, we got to go take this motherfucker out. Mm-hmm. So that goes along with the synopsis, of course, that we read, that they go out and they help him. What's funny is they get outside and they start fighting the son of a bitch, and they're doing pretty good, actually. You think Krampus would tear them apart, but they're like running and ambushing and punching. Well, finally they tase the son of a bitch. They fucking tase Krampus, and they drag his ass in the cabin, and they tie him up with Christmas tree lights, which is pretty funny. But what they did show you, I can't miss this part. You noticed it before I did. What was hilarious, because he took the little bitch in blue down, and he was wrestling with her and licking her with a tongue and stuff like that. And then he got up, and when he tased him, they rolled him over, and she shot him with a tranquilizer. You notice he shot him in his fucking nutsack. That was hilarious.
Krampus cock up in there.
Yep. Okay, so we might as well go ahead and move along with the story, because, like I said, it's just a bunch of back and forth, and not a whole lot happens, and there's not a whole lot of on-screen stuff.
Yeah.
But after they capture him, some fucking loser shows up. Apparently the boyfriend of the girl in blue.
Uh-huh. Walks
through the door. He's a typical ass. I'm glad, but I'm gonna tell you what, this was a great Christmas present, because this motherfucker wasn't on screen for any longer than maybe 30 seconds,
if that. Yeah,
talking shit, doubting. And Krampus takes, because they had hit him because he woke up,
right?
And they punched him, and they did something. They threw his ass in a room. I think they threw him outside is what they did. And this guy walks in the room talking all this smack, being, typical college jock type, takes I guess just a horn or a sword or something. I don't know if he stabbed him with a horn. Took him right through it for
kill one.
So we did get some decent blood effect, and some bitch is dead. So that was good. At least we got one on-scene kill, because to this point, most of the stuff you see is like flash shots and stuff like that. You're not really seeing any killing going on.
No.
So it was kind of disappointing, but I will say the movie itself was just stupid enough and entertaining enough to where it didn't really matter. I mean, more blood and guts is good. We all like that. But the movie was okay it kind of maintained itself.
Yeah, up to
through stupidity.
Up to this point, he had killed like 3 or 4 other people, but it was all off screen. So even though he killed more people, we don't count it.
We don't count it. If it don't show it, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Okay, so they're outside. Once the college boy gets whacked, they're all freaking out. They run outside, and they're getting ready to do battle with this thing. And all of a sudden, this motorcycle pulls up in between them and the Krampus. Mm-hmm. And of course, here we go. We got our old gal, the bartender, which we now find out, of course, through dialogue, of course, that she is the one and only Mrs. Claus, which is hilarious because she looks like an old burnout biker chick. He looks like old burnout biker dude. It's freaking hilarious.
They're biker Clauses.
Yep. And the fucked up thing is she turns on Santa Claus and has apparently been fucking around with the Krampus.
She's a hoe.
She's a hoe.
She's a hoe.
And while Mrs. Claus, of course, is giving her little speech, the 3 hoes, of course, abandon their post and haul ass, along with the dork ass park ranger who shows up.
Yeah.
And they haul ass into this cabin, or actually they go back and I think of that the original kitchen or wherever the hell they were hiding from the Krampus the first time he showed up. And out of nowhere, all of a sudden they're attacked by hairy balls. There's hairy balls everywhere. It looks like these little combination of tribbles / critters. If anybody ever remembers the movie Critters,
yeah,
they're little tribbles, these little fur balls grow teeth and start attacking these son of a bitches. Now, no death, but pisses me off. But oh well, what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah. So
they go back outside. He goes back over there where they're arguing and shit, and he's tied up. And she's about to abandon his ass. So he said, she's like yelling at Krampus, go get the sleigh. So apparently he drags the sleigh out. She's bitching about how he's no good. You know, you fucked up the business. You know, that's why we had to eat the reindeer and all this shit, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to allude to a couple of points. There were boxes in the freezer when they were in the kitchen poking around. Right. There were boxes in the freezer that had names of the reindeer on them. So apparently they had them. They had them processed reindeer. And in the fridge.
Told you he just started his own meat company. You know, that's all he's doing.
Yeah, he did. So what the hell? Why not? Got to survive, right?
That's right. Got to make money in this day and age. You know.
Well, anyway, the cops in this movie, I don't even know why they showed them as much because they keep flashing back to the police station, but they're basically not in the movie. The only quote unquote law enforcement that's even involved in this entire thing is the idiot park ranger.
Yeah, the renter ranger.
Yep. So what they do is they get so Mrs. Claus and Krampus jump in the damn sleigh, and take off. Santa's chained to a tree, and then they come out and then they pick the lock, which I don't even know how the hell they got those kind of skills. These bitches are dingy as fuck. So they pick the lock and they free him, and then the ranger guy starts shooting at him, and he hits Krampus in the shoulder, and then when he does that, Santa grabs his shoulder, and it's like then we find out they're kind of linked together. So this is kind of a bad part, but like you said, they had some serious balls at this part because Santa sacrifices himself, looks at him, he gives him a nod, and she takes a fucking axe and she beheads that son of a bitch for
kill 2
in one chop.
Took his head clean off, which is okay. But what was cool is because they beheaded him, the magic line was severed, and Krampus explodes, blowing the sled to absolute smithereens for kills number...
Kill 3. Kill 4.
So Krampus and Mrs. Claus are taking the fuck out.
And Christmas is dead.
And Christmas is dead.
Yep. But no, yeah, that takes some serious balls to chop Santa's head off, man, in a Christmas
Serious
movie.
balls.
Yeah.
But that's the basic rundown of the movie, because after that, all you get is the cops showing up like way late.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
They're like useless as hell. Everybody's covered in blood. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Santa laying on the ground with no head. Nobody gives a fuck. Then he turns into these fireflies and his body floats up. And then you see Krampus's decapitated head coming down. And then you get the rock and roll ending credits.
And movie
So,
over.
end of story.
Yeah, done and done.
That's pretty much it. It's like I said, it was fairly streamlined. There wasn't a whole lot of action, but it was half-ass entertaining.
Yeah.
So, my friend, what is your analysis of this fine holiday motion picture?
I'm going to give this 5 hoes. Yeah, this movie was cool. It's up there with Thanksgiving and Beaster Day, and it's where it's goofy fun. The Krampus suit looked great. The special effects were for the most part practical. The script was stupid. The acting was not terrible, but not good. It's kind of that weird in between range.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's not long though, so you don't have to really put up with it for too long. And we did get about 4 on-screen deaths plus 4 off-screen, so you get a good little kill count going on.
It took too long, and we did get a shot of some rescue titties and
we
stuff.
did at the beginning, within the first 15 minutes. So, but yeah, and in the end, when they cut off Santa's head, I mean, that's some ballsy shit. And so I think this movie is a lot of fun. Is it good? Not really, but it's a lot of fun. So I don't mean 5 because I forget that our rating system is inverted. So I'm actually giving it a 1 ho.
Going 1 ho.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so 1 turd. You got 1 turd in the stocking. All right.
1 ho turd up in there.
That's it. And I tend to concur. I'm not going to be quite as nice to it because I actually liked Thanksgiving better than this.
Okay.
But this movie was charming. It was funny. Mm-hmm. And we forgot to mention our boy Robert Mole was in this movie.
Richard Mole.
Richard.
That's
who did I say?
You said Robert Mole.
Richard Mole, sorry, who, if anybody was a fan of the old show Night Court or anything like that, I don't know if some of our audience may remember, some may not, but yeah, he was one of the grouchy police officers, but
he's
he got to pay rent.
He was a grouchy. He wasn't in too long this movie, but he's also, for those who also might know, he was the voice of Two-Face in the Batman the Animated TV show.
Yes, he was, because he's got a great voice for that kind of stuff.
Real dark, real gritty, real deep.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the acting was gloriously horrible.
Yeah.
The blood effects, when we did get them, was decent. Mm-hmm. The costumes were great. I loved Santa Claus cussing, throwing a fit, bitching about all them hoes running around fucking his shit up, saying it just like that. It was funny. You know what? I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna stand up on that pedestal with you. I was gonna go 2 turds on this, but it is charming enough. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 1 turd too. It's not gonna get the gold turd like we gave Thanksgiving because I like Thanksgiving better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give it 1 turd in the stocking as well.
If there are 3 things to take away from this movie, 1, you've got the quick but awesome shot of the Tiggo RTs.
Oh yes.
2. You got Santa Claus saying, "I'm the real fucking deal." And 3, you've got Santa getting his head chopped off. So those 3 right there make it worth the price of admission alone.
Santa Claus sacrificing himself. And I forgot to mention that one part where him and Krampus went at it at night when he had his sparkly ass wand and Krampus had some glowing rod or some shit.
Right.
And it was looking like some cheap reenactment of the Obi-Wan and Vader fight from episode 4.
Oh yeah.
It was hilarious.
I do want to say that that was probably one of my biggest contention of this movie was that whole last part. Once they go outside and they're fighting and there's that long fight scene when Mrs. Claus shows up, that whole last part was really badly filmed. It was very fucking dark. You could barely make out what was going on. They needed a bit more light to see actually what the fuck was going on. But otherwise, it didn't take away from it too bad, though.
It was nighttime, fool. What the fuck you want?
Well, yeah, we still gotta see what the fuck is going on in that fucking place. Shit.
That's true. Yeah, man, you're right about that.
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, this was another one that was well worth it. This is definitely one you can break out on the holidays.
Absolutely.
But man, once again, I just want to tell everybody Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir.
Hope you watch this movie if you get a chance. It's funny. It's good. You'll enjoy it. It's pretty hilarious. Brother, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas too. I love you, man. Love doing the show.
Same to you, buddy. Merry
Best
Christmas.
of everything to you, man. And like I said, after this, we're going to start rolling again and get back to it.
All right, guys. So we will see y'all after the break. Merry Christmas to you, James, and Merry Christmas to everybody at home. Be safe. Have a happy holidays, like we said before. Don't forget to check out our pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go check out our Patreon, patreon.com/whatthesuck. Check out all the bonus stuff we have on there. If you feel, like you want to get a shirt or something, go check out our TeePublic store. And, otherwise, enjoy your holidays, guys.
That's right. And if any ladies out there want to sit on Santa's lap here, y'all just come on over and talk to me.
He's waiting for you, ho-ho-hos.
Peace out, y'all.
All right, guys. See y'all later.
Looking for a brew unique to you? Find it at Kroger. Discover distinctly different chameleon organic ground coffee with flavors like Guatemala and Dark and Handsome. They're so organic, so sustainable, and so good. Visit Kroger today to get yours.